Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to learn our chapter number 6, that is physical and chemical changes. So, here see, every day you come across many changes in your surroundings. These changes may involve one or more substances. For example, your mother may ask you to dissolve sugar in water to make a cold drink. Making a sugar solution is a change. Similarly, setting curd from milk is a change. Sometimes milk becomes sour. Souring of milk is a change. Stretch rubber or band also represent a change. So children, here see, we are meeting every day some changes in our daily life. Okay, either it is a physical change or it can be chemical change. Okay, that we have to learn afterwards. But here see, as per example, here it is given. If our mother says us to mix the sugar in water, so first the water will be tasteless. Okay, but if we add sugar in water, so it will become a sweet. Okay, its taste will be sweet. Okay, if we add salt in water, then also it taste will be salty. So see here, change occur by adding the substance, any other substance, the change will be there, we can see. Next, make a list of 10 changes you have noticed around you. In this chapter, we shall perform some activities and study the nature of these changes. Broadly, these changes are of two kinds, children. Which are they? Physical changes and chemical changes. Okay, two changes we have to see here. First is physical change, second one is our chemical change. First is physical change. By some activities we have to see. Okay, so here see activity 6.1. Cut a piece of paper in 4 square pieces. Cut each square piece further into 4 square pieces. Lay these pieces on the floor or a table so that the pieces acquire the shape of the original piece of paper. Figure 6.1 you can see. Obviously you cannot join the pieces back to make the original piece. But is there a change in the property of the paper? So here see children, here we have to take one full paper. We have to cut the paper into some pieces. Okay, again we have to try to join all the paper, these pieces of papers. Can we see there is difference between the original paper and the paper which we have joined. So you can see some gaps will be there. Okay, it is not exactly the paper which was earlier. So which type of change it is? But here we can say paper, after also paper is only there. Anything you can change, it's what is the characteristics is not change. Paper, only paper, same. Okay, now activity 6.2. Collect the chalk dust lying on the floor near the chalkboard in your classroom, or crush a small piece of chalk into dust. Add a little water to the dust to make a paste. Roll it into the shape of a piece of chalk. Let it dry. Did you recover chalk from the dust? Here also same example we have to follow related to physical change. So first we have to take a one chalk, full chalk. We have to, okay, small chalk, we have to make it, crush it. Okay, so it will be become in a dust form, now chalk. Now again we have to try to make a new chalk from that dust powder. Okay, so can we find a same chalk which was earlier? Here also we will see some change. Okay, either its size will be changed, okay, otherwise its shape will be changed. But chalk, only chalk. If white color chalk, then white color chalk, its color is not changing, shape and size will be different. Okay, 6.3 activity. Take some piece ice in a glass or plastic tumbler. Melt a small portion of ice by placing the tumbler in the sun. You have now mixture of ice and water. Now place the tumbler in freezing mixture, ice plus common salt. Does the water become solid ice once again? So here also we can see, first we have to take a piece of ice, okay, the shape which it was. Then second way we have to set in one tumbler, okay, any vessel you can take, plastic or steel. Then we have to again take it back into, put in the refrigerator, and we have to see it. We can see children, first the size of the ice will be different, When it melt, again the size will be different. Okay, here also we can see some change. Now activity 6.4. Boil some water in a container. Do you see the steam rising from the surface of water? Hold an inverted pan by its handle over the steam at some distance from the boiling water. Observe the inner surface of the pan. Do you see any droplet of water there? Yes, we can see. Okay, so evaporation will be there. If we try to stop it, okay, by putting anything like here inverted pan is put, so we can see small drops of water we can find. Okay, at down. Activity 6.5. Hold a used hacksaw blade with a pair of tongs. Keep the tip of the free end of blade on the gas stove. Wait for a few minutes. Does the color of the tip of the blade change? Remove the blade from the flame. Observe the tip once again after some time. Does it get back to its original color? In activity 6.1, 6.2 above, you saw that paper and piece of chalk underwent changes in size. So in 6.1 and 6.2 we can see that children, there is a change in their size. Okay. In activity 6.3 and 6.4, water changes its state from liquid to solid, solid to liquid, or gas to liquid. Yes. In activity 6.5, the hacksaw blade change color on heating. We can see its color will be different. Okay, like blackish color will we find. Okay, when we heat the hacksaw blade. So here see children, now important thing. Here we have to see. Now properties such as shape, size, color and state of a substance are called its physical properties. So which are the physical properties children see of any substance? So its shape, its size, its color and its state of substance, mean which it is solid, either liquid or it is gas. So that is called its physical properties. A change in which a substance undergoes a change in its physical properties is called a physical change. So if you find any change in the physical properties of the substance, like change in size, change in shape, change in color, change in state of matter, okay, substance like solid to liquid, liquid to gas, okay, so this type of changes are called as physical change. Okay, a physical change is generally reversible. In such a change, no new substance is formed. Here we can say we can't find any new substance. Okay, same substance we can hear. Water, then water in the form of water only. See, first it is in solid form of water, ice, liquid form of water, so water only. So here we can say that it does not form a new substance. Okay, in physical property only their shape, size, color and other property will be changed. Otherwise, new substance will not be formed. So these are said to be physical properties of the substance. Okay children, now here is 6.2. Okay, the change with which you are quite familiar is rusting of iron. If you leave a piece of iron in an open for some time, it acquires a film of brownish substance. This substance is called rust and the process is called rusting. Now children see, if we keep any metal thing, okay, if any iron thing outside, okay, so when it comes in the contact of oxygen or some moisture, so it will start getting rust. It will acquire rust, brown color, okay, brownish color. So this is called rust and this process is called rusting. Okay. Iron gates of park or farmlands, iron benches kept in lawns and gardens, almost every article of iron kept in open get rusted. Okay, any particle, if it is pure iron or some it mixed, but if you kept it open, so it will get it rust. At home, you must have seen shovels and spades getting rusted when exposed to atmosphere for some time. Okay, so the shovels and saws, they are used for the spades, these are used for the gardening at our home. Okay, so if you kept it open, then also there will be rust on them. In the kitchen also, wet iron pad often gets rusted if left in the state for some time. Okay, so the tawa at our home which is used for making roti, so if you kept it open for some time, then also it will be get rusted. It is different from iron on which get its deposit. Let us consider a few more changes when new substances are formed. So here we can see from iron the rust is also a different substance. It's not a form of iron. Okay, so here the new substance is forming. Okay, when it's compared, when it's come in contact with water, or we can say air. Now activity 6 point will explain. 6.6. Get a small piece of thin strip or ribbon of magnesium. Clean its tip with sandpaper. Bring the tip near a candle flame. It burns with a brilliant white light. Okay, so you have to take a strip of magnesium ribbon. You have to burn it. So when you burn it, you can see the flame, white flame. Okay, it burns with a white flame. When it is completely burnt, it leaves behind a powdery ash. So here we can find the ash. Okay, in the powder form we can find its ash. Now does the ash look like magnesium ribbon? So here we can see both the things will be different. Like see, as per example children, if we burn wood, so after that we get ash of wood. So these two things will be also different. Wood is also different. The ash which is formed from wood, is it also different? If we try to join it, then also we can't find wood back, because it's totally state, physical, everything will be changed. Okay. Does the ash look like magnesium ribbon? The change can be represented by the following equation. Here we can see children, magnesium plus oxygen we will get magnesium oxide. Okay, so here magnesium, if we burned in presence of oxygen, okay, because you know for burning, for combustion, oxygen will be required. Okay, so if we burn in presence of oxygen, we will get magnesium oxide, that powder form. Okay, collect the ash and mix with small amount of water. Stir the mixture well. Test the mixture with blue and red litmus papers. Does the mixture turn red litmus blue? Does the mixture turn blue litmus red? On the basis of this test, how do you classify the aqueous solution, acidic or basic? On dissolving the ash in water, it forms a new substance. This change can be written in form of following equation. Magnesium oxide plus water is equal to, will give magnesium hydroxide. Okay children, so in chapter number 5 also we have learned magnesium hydroxide is a base. Okay, so it will turn red litmus to blue. Okay, blue litmus paper, it will not affect. Okay, so that powder form, if we mix that powder form in water, we'll get magnesium hydroxide, and magnesium hydroxide is one type of base. Okay, now here see next 6.7 activity. Dissolve about a teaspoon of copper sulfate in about half of cup of water in a glass tumbler or a beaker. Add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to the solution in one glass tumbler or beaker. Okay, you can see in figure 6.4 first beaker. Okay, here we have to add first half cup of glass tumbler, we have to add a copper sulfate. Okay, then we have to add some few drops of dilute sulfuric acid. You should get a blue color solution, you can see in figure. Save a small sample of the solution in test tube or small glass bottle. Drop a nail or used saving blade into the remaining solution. Wait for half an hour or so. Observe the color of the solution. Compare it with the color of the sample solution saved separately. Do you see any change in the color of the solution? Take out the nail or the blade. Has it changed in any way? The changes that you notice are due to reaction between copper sulfate and iron. The change of color of the solution from blue to green is due to the formation of iron sulfate, a new substance. The brown deposit on iron nail is copper. Another new substance, we can write the reaction is copper sulfate plus iron. We will get iron sulfate plus copper. Okay children, so this example shows us here what we have to do children in this activity. First we have to take a beaker. In that beaker we have to add a copper sulfate. Okay, then we have to add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid, and then we can say it's get a blue color solution. Okay, then afterwards we have to add a we can add small blade, okay, used blade or nail, okay. So after adding this, we'll see that the reaction will be there between these two things, copper sulfate and iron. Now the color solution we will get, that will be green in color, so that is iron sulfate we will get, okay. And the copper at bottom we can see the copper brownish deposited in the on the iron nail is copper, okay, we can see. Now here activity 6.8, here is another change. Take about a teaspoon of vinegar in test tube, add a pinch of baking soda to it. You should hear a hissing sound and see bubbles on a gas coming out. Pass this gas to freshly prepared lime water as shown in figure. What happens to the lime water? The change in a test tube is as following: vinegar plus baking soda will give sodium hydrogen carbonate, carbon dioxide plus other substances. The reaction between carbon dioxide and lime water is as follows: carbon dioxide plus lime water will give calcium carbonate plus water, okay. So here what we have to do, children, in a beaker, okay, we have to take a vinegar, then we have to add baking soda to it. So we will see some gas bubbles comes out, okay, that is carbon dioxide. Now we have to pass this carbon dioxide to the other beaker, that is consist of lime water. Now we can see the lime water will be in a pure form, okay, in a milky form. So that we get is calcium carbonate we have got. When carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, calcium carbonate is formed, which make the lime water milky. The turning of lime water into milky is standard test of carbon dioxide. You will use it in chapter 10 to show that air breathed out is rich in carbon dioxide. It is a pure form of carbon dioxide we can see. In activity 6.6 to 6.8, you saw that in each change one or more new substances were formed, okay. Like example, activity 6.6 we can see from ash was the new substance from when magnesium was burnt in a air. In activity 6.6, the reaction of copper sulfate with iron produce iron sulfate and copper. Both of these are new substance. So here we can see, children, the activities which we have learned now earlier. So here we can see from one substance the new substance is forming, okay. Copper was deposited on the shaving blade of iron. In activity 6.8, vinegar and baking soda together produced carbon dioxide, which turned lime water milky. Can you name the new substance formed in this reaction? Okay. A change in which one or more new substances are formed is called a chemical change, children. Okay. So here we can see the change in which one or more new substances are forming. As per example, we have seen earlier all the activities same like. So that is called its chemical change, and a chemical change is also called a chemical reaction. Okay. Chemical change is like, say, as we have seen, if we add acid plus base in a proper quantity, it will turn into a salt solution, okay, and heat will be produced. Same reaction, neutralization also, okay. So it is also one process. Chemical changes are very important in our life. All new substances are formed as a result of chemical changes. For example, digestion of food in our body also, okay, because carbohydrate, protein, fats, they are converted into a new forms, okay, complex form will convert into simpler form in our body. Ripening of fruits, fermentation of grapes, okay, these are examples of chemical changes. A medicine is the end product of a chain of chemical reaction. Useful new materials such as plastic, detergent are also produced by chemical reactions. Most of the things we are getting that are produced by means of chemical reaction. Indeed, every new material is discovered by studying chemical changes. We have seen that one or more new substances are produced in a chemical change. In addition to new products, the following may accompany a chemical change. Heat, light or any other radiation may be given off or absorbed. During the chemical change, we can see heat will be absorbed or it will be off, okay. Sound may be produced, hissing sound we have seen that. Change in smell also we can consider. Color change also we can see, like copper sulfate change is there, iron sulfate, that change. Gas may be produced like carbon dioxide we have seen. So let us look at these examples. You saw that burning of magnesium ribbon is a chemical change. Burning of coal, wood or leaves also chemical change. In fact, burning of any substance is a chemical change, because if you burn it, we will find a different form. Like say if you burn paper, so after burning the paper we can use it, that paper, in a proper way. If you try to, no, its property is totally changed. So it's a chemical change. In fact, burning of any substance is a chemical change. Burning is always accompanied by production of heat. Explosion of firework is also a chemical change. Okay, you know that such an explosion produces heat, light, sound and unpleasant gases that pollute the atmosphere. So we can see in the fireworks which we are using during Diwali, so that all are made up of different things, but if you burn them, so they will produce a sound also, they will produce a smoke also, pollution also, heat also, light also. So that is also a different thing. So it is also one type of chemical change. That is why you are advised not to play with fireworks. When food gets spoiled, it produces a foul smell. Shall we call it change of chemical change? Yes, we can say, children. Okay, now food will be contaminated. Okay, so it is also one type of chemical change. You must have noticed that slice of apple acquires a brown color if it is not consumed immediately. If you have not seen changes color, cut a fresh slice of apple and keep it away from some time. Brownish color we can say. Okay, this is also one type of change, because when it's come in contact with air, it also changing color. Repeat the same activity, slice of potato, brinjal. The change of color in these cases is due to formation of new substance. Are not these changes chemical changes, as we can say? In chapter 5, you neutralize an acid with base. Its neutralization is chemical change. Yes, a new substance is from neutralization. This is also a chemical change. Okay. Now rusting of iron, children. Okay. So let us get back to rusting. This is one change that affects iron particles and slowly destroys them. Since iron is used in making bridges, ships, cars, trucks, bodies and many other articles, the monetary loss due to rusting is huge. Okay, so due to rusting of such iron particles, children, we have to face some financial issues also. Okay, because to prevent rusting, it's a costly process. Okay, so we can say it's a monetary loss due to rusting is huge. Okay, overall cost. The process of rusting can be represented by following equation also. Iron plus oxygen plus water will get a rust iron oxide. Okay, for rusting the presence of both oxygen and water is essential, children. Okay, this line is important. Okay, in fact, if the content of moisture in air is high, which means if it is more humid, rusting become faster. Okay, so if humidity in the air is high, the rusting of any iron will be in a high property. Okay, in a fast way. So how do you prevent rusting? Now how we can save our iron articles from rusting? So these processes are given, children. Prevent iron particles from coming in contact with oxygen, water or both. One simple way is to apply a coat of paint or grease. So we have to apply paint. Okay, so we can see at our homes, houses, buildings, we can see people are forming a color. Okay, people are coloring their grills. Okay, iron grills is there. Okay, protective grills, so that window, okay, grills, so these are protected. Okay, with a with a paint coating. Okay, so it will be not come in directly contact with air or water, so it can be protected from the rust. Second way, in fact, this coat should be applied regularly to prevent rusting. Another way is to deposit a layer of metal like chromium or zinc or iron. This process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron is called galvanization, children. Okay, so you can see from galvanized pipe also we can find. So all galvanized pipe means on the iron pipe a layer of zinc is deposited. Okay, so it will not be rusted. Okay, if it's come in contact with air or water. The iron pipes we used in our homes to carry water are galvanized to prevent rusting, children. Okay. You know that ships are also made of iron and part of them remain underwater. One of the part above water also. Water drop keep clinging to the ship outer surface. Moreover, the water of the sea contains many salts. The salt water makes the process of rust formation faster. Therefore, ships suffer a lot of damage from rusting in spite of being painted. So much so that a fraction of ships' iron may be replaced every year. Can you imagine the monetary loss to the world? Okay, here also we can see changes, children, because most of the ships are made up of iron only. So if iron comes, we know if iron comes in contact with the air or water, it start rusting. So many ships, if we try to do proper coating of ships also, then also some part of it will becomes in because it has to be every time in the water. Okay, so some of part of it will be get rusted. Okay, so you have to replace it every year by year. So here also we are getting a huge cost. Okay. Now crystallization, children. So in class 6 you have learned that salt can be obtained by evaporation of seawater. Okay, if we boil seawater, so we can see. Okay, the salt obtained in this manner is not pure and shape of crystal cannot be seen clearly. However, large crystal of pure substance can be formed from the solutions. This process is called crystallization. It is an example of physical change. Okay, so crystallization, children, means from here if we find from any substance, if we find crystals, okay, that is called a crystallization. Like sugar, okay, we can find small crystals of sugar, okay, pieces of sugar, big pieces, so they are called crystals. Take a cupful of water in a beaker and add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid. Heat the water. When it starts boiling, add copper sulfate powder slowly while stirring continuously. Continue adding copper sulfate powder till no more powder can be dissolved. Filter the solution. Allow it to cool. Do not disturb the solution when it's cooling. Look at the solution after some time. Can you see the cluster of copper sulfate? If not, wait for some time. Okay, here also it is taken a example of copper sulfate. Okay, so in acid we have to add some copper sulfate powder. Then after some time we can see the crystals of copper sulfate, okay, form. Children, so you have learned about physical chemical changes. Try to identify changes that you observe around you as a physical or chemical change. Okay, children, so this is your chapter, physical and chemical change. It's a very good chapter, children. Okay, it's very good for your understanding also. Okay, so it is a very good chapter. Okay, children, so read it properly. Okay, children, this chapter. Thank you very much, children.